Hello, it's Hollie with Ivy Cool Creations, and today I'm working on a get in shape layout as well as doing Baby Got Scraps because it is the month of January. And the get in shape hop is a hop that was created by Shannon, and she has given us a prompt of using a shape every Sunday as part of our layout. So I went through this pile of blue scrap and found a bunch of different color blues and went to town on creating triangles. Now, I decided I wanted to use this Vicki Boutin mixed media paper. It already had the blue on it, but I wanted the page to be full. So I decided to go in with my Distress inks and just add some more blue to the page. So the top of the page is Blueprint Sketch and the bottom of the page is Speckled Egg. And all I did was the packaging technique, stamped it on the packaging, added water, splatted it on the page. Now this is great because this is a pre-mixed media page by Vicki Boutin. So the paper was nice and thick and I didn't have to prep it or anything to add the color to it. But I did add enough that it filled up the whole page, and that's what I was going for. I had leftover ephemera from a Simple Stories collection. I think it was By the Sea, and it's red and blue are the colors in this collection, and I really wanted to use that stuff up, and that's why I've ended up with a red and blue layout, and that's why I'm doing so much mixed media, was because there was no red Vicki Boutin mixed media page for me to use. So I took my Distress Oxides, and I should have done this in ink instead of oxide, now that I'm thinking of it, and used my Lumberjack Plaid right in the middle, and then used Candy Apple on the either side, and then I just sprayed with water and let it drip to the edges, because I knew that I was going to be cutting this paper in half, and I wanted the mixed media to be going horizontally instead of vertically. Then I took my Dilutions Postbox Red ink and sprayed right over top, because when I dried the Lumberjack Plaid, it didn't stay true to color. It turned pink, and so I was disappointed. But the Postbox Red ended up creating like almost like a black, like a super dark burgundy red on top. And so I played with this a lot. I fought with it a lot. As you can see, there's some parts that look almost black. So I did get a huge amount of different colored tonnage in this paper. But I was like over it. So I just took my Postbox Red, sprayed a little bit, added a bunch of water, and then smushed it across the center of the page just so that I could get less of the dark color. It was very dark and I wasn't happy with it. After I dried it, it still didn't turn out the way I wanted it, so I just gave up and decided to use what I had. So I knew I was going to cut it in half, and the reason why I wanted the red was because I had a scrap of red paper that I really wanted to use as my edging, but I wanted the watercolor look to blend into the watercolor paper that's blue. So I tore the edges and then tried to cover up with this this piece of scrap, this red. And I'm happy with the way that it turned out. I do like the way that it ended up. It's definitely closer to what I envisioned than not. So I'm glad that it worked. But note to self, the Lumberjack Plaid dries almost pink. So yeah, if you're looking for like more of an apple red, it's not that color. So once I got all the pieces down, I started in on placing my triangles and my photos. And I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but once I got these nice dark blue triangles on the page, I really wanted to add a bit more contrast, so I added the light blue as well. And then I was playing with my photos, and I have 12 photos on this layout, but I wasn't sure how I was going to set them up. So I ended up fiddling around with stuff for a little while and trying to get it all down. And then I found a layout that almost gave me another triangle. So I just laid down the papers on the other side as well and put the triangles in the same place. I put the photos in the same place. And then I started in on my clusters. Now, the lighthouse, the whales, and the birds are all from this Simple Stories by the Sea collection. And that's where the paper came from. So I have these blue seashells, I have blue starfish, I have red starfish, and I really wanted to get them used up. So I'm so happy with how this turned out. And the photos covered up a lot of the dissatisfaction that I was having with the red mixed media. But you know, when in doubt, just cover it up. Or if you really want to, start all over again, because it is, in the end, just paper. Now, I had these lawn chairs or deck chairs that had a lot of white in between the legs of them, and I don't like having ephemera with a lot of white in it, because I feel like it's covering up all the stuff that I'm doing behind it, and I'm working so hard to create my backgrounds that I want them to show through. I know lots of people who leave the white in, and that's totally fine. It is what it is, and it's however you like it. But it bothers me. So this photo play collection had a couple things that I wanted to use in it, and I popped those down on the page. And then I had glued down this title that said Summertime, but I didn't like where it was, and it was very teal. It was a lot more green than blue, and so it was the wrong color. I didn't want it, and so I just ripped it up. I did it delicately, and I tried to just keep it in a straight line without shredding a lot of the paper. And then I found this sticker that said Sunshine, and that fit perfectly right over top of it. I did have to move my photos down a bit, which is fine by me. Nothing that I do is exactly straight anyway, so it didn't bother me at all. And I made it work. I wanted to put an ampersand in there so that it said Sunshine and Good Vibes. But I couldn't find one small enough. So I went digging through my wordy bits, and then I went digging through my stamps. And I also had this, I think it's called Days of Summer by Echo Park or Photoplay. And it had blue and red seashells and starfish on it. So I popped the red and blue ones on there just to add more. I also had some little word phrases that said vitamin C on it. And then the Sunkissed collection by Coco Vanilla had some wordy bits that I still have not worked through. I think this collection's from 2021. And I love it, but I just forget to pull it out. I went through, I found my ampersand stamp in the perfect size, and then I used my Distress ink in, first I tried tea dye, and it was too light. So then I used walnut stain and went over top of it, and just made it work. I found a little spot for journaling, and I added some gems as enamel dots to finish my layout off. But these are just pictures of my kids and me and my mom at the beach. And just them playing in rocks, and it was a pebbly beach, so not too much sand, but they love being at the water, and it's so much fun to be with them. You know, you just spend a day in the sun, and it makes you feel good. It gives you lots of energy, right? Please don't forget to check out the description box below for everybody who's playing along with Baby Got Scraps, and everybody who is also playing along with the Get in Shape Hop. What do you guys think of my video editing? What do you think of my voiceovers? Is there anything that you would like to see me try to create or do or work on as a layout? Because I am here to share my experience, and I'm also here to share creativity. So please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you.